Hello and welcome back. I'm bballjo and this is Work as Resources Soviet Republic. In this one, I will review Ichan, Iyhan, that's the user, Republic. And this republic has 150,000 citizens. That is a lot. That's a lot more than I had in any of my playthroughs so far. So I'm impressed. Do you want to see how this looks? Good to have you all here. First, I'm going to start, I'm not 100% sure, but I think this is Flatland with Hills. It's the other 3 division map that they give out. At least this looks very similar to one that I play on a lot. It could also be a totally different one, but there's a lot of flat ground in the middle. And I will say this was submitted a few months ago, so I'm just lagging behind. I lost a save. And as I said a couple times now, if you sent me something and I haven't gotten to it yet, please reach out to me and let me know that it's still there if you still want it reviewed. Obviously, if you don't want it reviewed, that's fine. If you want to send another one that you want reviewed, that's fine too. I just need more stuff to review. But yeah, that user, Iyhan, I don't know how to say it, sorry, reached out to me again and said, hey, I sent you something, do it. I'm like, yeah, I will. So let's get started. This is the starting point, and this is one of the few where we may not even get to run it because the FPS is lagging a little bit. Yeah, no, but we'll just leave it alone for now. But this is a starting city. Why is it a starting city? Because I was told this is a starting city. But also, if you look at it, usually starting cities have something like a less planned infrastructure. It's just plop something down, make a center, and then grow it from there and expand however you need to. And that's it makes perfect sense. That's how we want to do it. And it's pretty, I mean, it feels just like, well, I try this, build these, I need this many people right now, I found some mods, and that is awesome, because that's how you learn the game. That's how you learn new facets of the game. That's how you learn new pieces to the game. That's how you get everything done. And also, it's very possible that there were some monuments or something over here that got deleted because I can't get all the workshop items anymore. So that's also possible. But no, it's pretty nice. And the other thing that gave it away is gravel. Often, very often, especially in the older meta of the game, you would start with gravel. And look at the setup. I mean, this is some serious gravel business going on here. I love it. All these guys, let's see if we can turn them on. Yep. I mean, obviously these are mods, but there's nothing wrong with mods, period. Mods are always fine. If you're happy with using mods, use mods, please. Please do it. I'm surprised to see that this only feeds into one aggregate storage. Obviously, these are all running pretty much at 100% on the output, and these are the processing plants V2, which means they also have a lot of internal storage. But I would have expected this maybe to be like a triple storage on this side, but maybe this is just fine. Maybe it's just fine. I'm going to turn the lag off. Maybe it's just fine running it into 1 and then splitting it out into 4. As long as you have continuously running these, that's fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I do like the centralized bus stop right here. You need 60 people getting here at a time. Let's see what your buses look like. You only have 3 running. Kudos. And this bus, I think there's exactly 60, right? Only 40. That one is surprising. But your processing plants can't... Sorry, we need 80. So 40 actually makes sense. Enough sense. And if you mostly keep these full, you're doing it right. So no complaints there. But... yeah, no, this is neat. This is just a lot of gravel, and then this. Oh, I love to see this. Well, I can't even get this one. This is one train. This is one train snaking around here. It can store over 2,000 tons of gravel, which is more than most of the ships that you can get at this point. There are a couple ships obviously bigger than that, but this is fun. This is a long train. The only problem I have with long trains is we need longer aggregate loading facility, so this snake thing doesn't happen. I want to be able to fit the whole train into the storage unit, and then I'm happy. But no, cool. There are a lot of large trains running around here, so we'll get to those as well. What's going on over here? Oh, the bitumen storage for the asphalt factory with 100-ton export. Oh boy, that would make life a lot easier, wouldn't it? I'm not judging you. I just... This makes it really easy. This makes it really easy to get asphalt going, I think, if you do it for concrete as well. Now, I will say, make sure that you understand that asphalt has to be hot to be delivered, because once asphalt is hard, you drive on it. You're not going to move it anymore. You're not going to pour it into something. So that's why I like the vanilla version where it's just a tiny bit of export, but this makes the game easier. So do whatever floats your boat. There's nothing wrong with that. Big construction office over there. I do like the center area here. What is this? What is this? A cinema. Yeah, lovely. That is a lovely place for it. This circle. Is this a perfect circle? I cannot see any kink in that circle. That is amazing. I love it. Thank you. Thanks for showing me that. No, that's great. And yeah, that's the first city. Let's continue. Off to the next thing. We'll just follow this road. Oh gosh, just this look. Let's turn the UI off. This look makes me happy. There's a little airport to the right. There's a bunch of train stuff going on in front of us. There are some light industries. Just an industrial park here. I think this would be cool to have a little background, like just the paint tool for a little while. But no, it's nice. To the left, you see the ships. Can you even see those? They're right, like in the center of the screen now. They're huge ships. That is awesome. I love it. Really long conveyor pipe. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I prefer using other vehicles for that, but that's fine. It's not me playing here, so that's cool. This airport looks very functional. Probably does everything that you need to do. This cloverleaf may have been the first time you tried it. This is a long time ago, so you're probably better at this now than you were before. But yeah, there looks to be a lot of bumpage in here. Maybe mine look the same way, but let's throw some trees on here to make it look prettier, okay? That's all. But no, I like the view, just coming in here and just seeing a lot of stuff going on. And I was actually hoping that we can see the TV tower. I think it's to the right, but I'm not 100% sure. There's the Berlin TV tower in here, and it looks awesome. I love it. But yeah, look at this city. This city feels very East Bloc to me, honestly. Like all these prefabs that are huge. Yep, that makes sense. And they're usually not just by themselves. They usually put a lot of them together. You have some park area in the middle that feels familiar too. Speaking for me, I grew up in Germany, so East Germany, I should say. And this feels familiar. I don't know if it changes if you go a lot more east, but for me, definitely feels very familiar here. Even the colors. So I feel like there was some time spent on picking the correct assets and buildings for this map. So that is pretty cool. I like that. We use the underground mods, or not mods, but the underground pipes. Makes perfect sense because we need to. This guy, not sure why this one has to be so close to the city, because that produces a lot of pollution. So this is not ideal, but I understand why sometimes you have to do that. So yeah. I will criticize the elaborate use of all these conveyor belts. It's such a nice opportunity to allow yourself to set up a network that actually works, where you can deliver everything you need, where you have everything you want, where things are actually doing what you need them to do. The conveyors make your life a lot easier as long as you give them power, but they also take away a little bit of the challenge of the game. And again, I'm not knocking anyone here. I'm just telling you my opinion about it, and my opinion is, give yourself a challenge and do this more by hand. Don't let conveyors do everything. A more general critique: never directly connect a coal mine to a processing plant, because the coal mine by itself can produce enough coal for up to 4 processing plants. 1. And 2, you will always have a swing between people here and people here. You are pretty close to the city, so you probably have more workers in these 2 places all the time anyways. But it's always good to allow your coal mine to produce everything that it can, put it into a storage, and then throw it into the processing plant, and then just add another processing plant when you want to. This is probably working just fine, but in general, always put a buffer in between everything that you want to do. And that's all. But no, I like the city. I like the city layout. I like the city look. I like the city. This is nice. It feels good and planned enough. And this is probably a 3, 4, 5,000 more. Each of these buildings is 500. So this is 2,000 people. This is 2,000 people. This is 2,000 people. So this is almost a 10,000 city. 10,000 citizen city. Yeah, maybe, probably, possibly, and that's really neat. I mean, I'm happy to see this. It is more challenging in vanilla, but that's what mods are for, because mods are awesome. No, I like it. These trains. Oh, I like these trains. These bombardier or whatever you want to call them. Wonderful. Oh, you have one that has one side actually as a locomotive. That is awesome. 327. Yeah, no, this is good stuff. I like it. Harbors. Yes, you are building your own ships. That is beautiful. I love it. Let's see if we can run this again. Have I said I love what's going on here? Yes, it is. It is quite decent. Yeah, the frame rate is not really playing along here, so I'm just going to keep that off. But this feels like a really nice harbor area. Again, I think this is a pretty good opportunity, and I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to do this because I want to get better at it. I would like, not asphalt road, I want airplane square? No, no. Asphalt road? No. Gravel road? Gravel square. Gravel road. Gravel square. That one. This is, I think, a great opportunity to just go, this is all industrial. Just like that. And now you make this a big fiber area. Just like so. Just like what I just did. If you actually cover everything right away, you don't have issues later. And then here, maybe I can get... See, I'm not even straight anymore. So I'm just going to pull this into the water, make it look like it's supposed to be here. And now this is just one large industrial sector that you could put a wall or something around it if you really wanted to. And that's... I think this looks nicer, but it looked nice before too because it was nice and bitty, but lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Oil. So what I learned recently, and I talked about that in one of the episodes you probably watched before this, is oil is pretty common to be found around farms if you can manage. And I think this will be a great area where you can just throw a farm in there and have the fields just stand around the stay around the pumps, and that is awesome. I don't quite understand why you have this many substations here, but it appears that some of the pumps actually pull a lot of wattage. So I guess this makes sense. They're just really close together, but hey, if that is the thing that you needed to do, then that's the thing that you needed to do. No questions there. Obviously, oil refining in this area, you do have 10,000 people sitting in this city ready to be sent to work, so this makes perfect sense, and these are, in fact, all full. Beautiful. Now this is the part where I have to check what your settings are. Reasonable. So that's fine. That's fine. You play that. Night and day, that's what I changed to be able to make a video. Building fires normal. That's more than reasonable because sometimes the building fires are just out of control. They're just all the time. It's just, oh, come on, let me expand a little bit. Oh, there's another pretty circle. I like it. I like it. But no, this is great. And then you have the big tanker ships sitting here, filling up with whatever you want them to, with a lot of space in it. That is nice. That is just really nice. And you're bringing some extra oil in as well. You have all these tankers. Again, this is a great opportunity, I think, to use those painting tools that I just used, but you don't have to. You don't have to at all. This is very, very, very nice. Continue. Where should we go? What is this guy doing? Is this guy for more oil? I think this is another oil harbor. Interesting. Very interesting. So you get more oil from right here. You're also getting some bauxite. And bauxite is nice to have. Again, really long conveyors. They may be realistic, but I'm not a fan. I'm just not a fan. Look how long this one is. It goes there. We're going to look at that in a second. But here's a little setup for the city, for probably the bauxite mine, a fire station, I'm guessing, and oh, there's a fire station out here too. Yeah, no, I like the fire coverage and not using the helicopters for the fire coverage. I think helicopters were a thing when you started this map, or as old as this map is, so kudos to that. I really like it. 250 people in these, yeah, that makes sense. Here's a big tanker. I really, really, really like this tanker. And I'm assuming they're pumping this out. Yeah, there's the pipe running straight to the harbor from there. This underground oil pipes make sense to me because gas pipelines and oil pipelines and all types of pipelines like that do exist, and I'm very aware of that, and that makes sense. But the conveyors just don't feel right to me. That's all. This guy, another huge train. I like it. I like it. I hope it doesn't wreak havoc anywhere on your map, but I think it's probably fine. So, I mean, you're making some money, so I'm pretty sure there's nothing really blocking itself. So keep it up. This This is a conveyor method I can appreciate. Because look at how many of these bauxite mines you have sitting here. I do believe one of these can take 125 tons of raw bauxite, and one of these can produce... you're not producing anything right now because you're not going through, but I think it's close. Oh, you also bring in workers in here. You have workers and excavators. Interesting. But I believe one of these can easily produce like 30 tons or more, maybe 40 tons, depending on your quality of source too. So 3 of these definitely fill out one of these processing units. And math this out, I counted real quick. It's a little more than 12. So yeah, you just have a couple extras, but there's a conveyor mess I can appreciate. So good job. Look what we got over here. Nuclear power. And here's another thing really quick. These power lines do not look ridiculous. These look very... Yep, they would exist this way. They are more concentrated near the power plant right here. And then they just spread out a little bit until they get to the places where they need to go to. And I'm happy to see that. That's pretty nice. Nuclear power plant. Yep, you're actually using the power. You have it full of workers. This is always a feat that I don't see in a lot of save games that I get. And honestly, that I don't do myself. Get to 100% of productivity in your buildings because it's funner. It's better production, better everything. And if you actually produce all the things that you need, life is a lot better. So that is really nice to see. This looks like a city that's surrounded by 2 nuclear power plants. That just sounds dangerous. That's all. Another airport here. That makes sense. But yeah, 2 nuclear power plants in this area do feel a little scary. But hey, this is your power district, this is your power district, and that's where stuff's gonna get done. What is this building? Sports hall. Cool. What's this building? Shopping center. I like it. It's a lot bigger than the capacities are a lot bigger than the other ones. This is cool. It has an actual little loading dock in the back instead of just a parking lot in the front. This may be a mod I want to use more. I like how that looks. This one, don't know what you are. Accounting office maybe? No, visitors. So it's some type of museum or attraction thingy. Don't know what. Here's another perfect roundabout. I am impressed. I am impressed at your attention to detail on those roads. That is pretty cool. There's a fire pond right next to the fire station. So yeah, you do have the helicopters here, but you're not using them everywhere, which again, kudos. I like that. I like that a lot. That's pretty nice. What do we have here? Iron ore production? No, coal ore. More coal gets into this small cement plant that has rail connected to it. Yeah, you missed out on not connecting the rail here. I understand it was probably added later on, so you were just like, well, I need cement here, so you started doing that. But yeah, that's neat. Here's the concrete factory with 100-ton concrete sitting there. Same thing, once concrete is hard, you can't use it, so you have to actually start using it after you mix it. That's all, but that's fine. Do your thing. This is an interesting solution to a problem that most of you probably have faced at some point. Terraforming on rock is terribly, terribly hard, and it's not fun. It takes forever, and nobody wants to do it, so I get why you're doing the thing that you're doing. The power line back here also, again, makes perfect sense. You already have something, you keep it out of the way, and it just runs out there. Interesting towers, but nice. Another nuclear twin reactor running essentially at 100%, so you're probably exporting power up the wazoo. That's awesome. Hey, look at this. This one, again, you have a lot of power lines just going out into the world, figuring things out. This one, I can tell, you built this, and then you decide, oh, there's bauxite here. So you put the bauxite in, you rerouted the power over here. Because if you look, I think at some point, this was a straight line connection from this power line right here to the power line at the end of there. And then you're just like, nope, I want to do bauxite here, and you reroute it a little bit. That's cool. There was another one right there, and you move that one around too, and then you have a bunch of other power lines going this way. I want to kind of follow these. Because, yeah, they start just spreading out a little bit. And that is... I like that. I like that. It's not easy to make power lines look nice, but it looks like as long as you give it enough straight, it's fine. So, awesome. Next city. This one, I don't know if you can tell, but every single city that I've seen so far looks a little different. The first one was more random, and all the other cities were more following a theme. And I can appreciate that. I don't know if I can relate to that, but I'm terrible at that. But it's definitely something that I can appreciate. So thanks for that. That's awesome. Yeah, this city feels like one that was added later. Here's a TV tower. You find that in Berlin if you care. It also says it's a Berlin TV tower. I lived in Berlin for a while. I never went onto the TV tower while I was living in Berlin, but I went on it while I was visiting Berlin before. So yeah. Coal ore processing plant. Looks nice. Again, you use a lot of conveyors. Cool. I said that now enough times, so yeah, no, that's fine. This looks like a cool little place to just hang out. Not sure. I feel like everyone is used because this number, even with the new code now, it's a little easier, but this number feels very, very impressive. Still, you have 7,000 people available for work if you wanted them. That's a lot more than I have currently in my whole republic, but that's pretty normal. At some point, you just have too many workers to know what to do with, and your growth is also out of control. So, yeah, I get it. I get why we're here. This is a neat little setup. I don't usually do it this way, but I understand why this can happen. If you just want an in-between setup for your construction, especially if you need cement and asphalt really close, and all your roads are asphalt, so I get why you have this here, and you don't like have a gravel storage right next to it, and I try to fill that, so that's neat. This is also neat. Just a quick run over to the vehicle production line. Yeah, cars, and you're creating the big excavators. That's neat. There they are. Also looks like you're exporting those, so that's pretty awesome. I'm assuming you have a train coming in here to pick up all the vehicles from this machinery, but I like it. Oh, is this one? Oh, space for vehicles is right there. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. Feel like I'm missing something. So let's back up a little bit. Yeah, let's look at what's going on over here, because there's a lot of industry in this area that's just a lot. Yeah, we saw that. Here, nuclear fuel refabrication. This looks like a nicely planned setup. This looks like a nicely planned setup. A lot of chemical. Yes, this is a huge chemical plant. I like it. And look, it only produces 5 tons of chemicals a day. I think that's ridiculous. Just that is maybe true, because I really don't know, but those numbers just amaze me every time I see them. But that is neat. Now this battery of production lines. Chef's kiss right there. That's how you need to do this. That's how you should do this. Just pump all the uranium up the conveyors. This looks clean. I was almost going to say, why don't you have the conveyors connect on both sides? So this one connects to that conveyor as well, and then have them go do their thing, but we don't need to. We don't need to at all. So uranium processing plant, which means you are getting uranium ore, and then you're exporting stuff. Then you have probably distribution offices here that picks up from everywhere and drops it off right here. Is that true? Uranium oxide, yes. So yeah, that makes perfect sense. No, I like it. I like this setup, and then you just send a couple people here to work, and life is good. I'm assuming that side can't reach everything. That's actually surprising, but that's fine. You still have people pretty much everywhere, and that is a big task all by itself. Using cars everywhere too. That's a challenge. The cars are just not great, but I think they are perfect for what you're doing here, because you need a few engineers, not a ton. And this is a way to get them in for sure. I like it. And then, where are your parking lots? I'm assuming you probably use the underground parking lots. Let's see. I actually don't see any. What is this? Air and Space Museum? Naval Museum? Oh, there's a big submarine. That's some awesome detail. That's a great mod. I love it. This is cute. There's a car dealer. I have no idea where citizens park. Maybe I just don't need to know. Maybe the underground parking lots don't actually show up underground. But look at all this cableage that runs underneath the city. I bet a lot of people like that. That's pretty nice, pretty neat. But no, this is an awesome little setup. Same thing here. Looks great. Same thing over here, just more chemicals. And again, you keep the large production lines that have close to 500 workers pretty full all the time. So that's a pretty good task. This is where you get your uranium from. And you only have 4 of these mines feeding all of those processing plants. I'm actually surprised to see that, but I'm happy to see that. I guess there's another pipe in. Oh, then you have a couple more over here. Yeah, so you have 6 feeding a lot. That's neat. That's neat. And you're full of uranium ore, so that's obviously the right ratio. I don't think I ever built uranium early enough to really care what the ratio was. So that's nice to see that it can actually do a lot with that. This export, this is just too short. Make yourself a bigger rail yard, and then you'll be happy. Obviously, you're using the signals correctly, so nothing to complain there just yet. You need a little extra track, just length, to be able to send some bigger trains out here. This one seems like it's gonna fit, but just in general, give yourself a little more room there. This looks nice. Got all the power lines running where they need to run. Got all the high voltage lines running on the other side. Everything is nice and straight. Didn't mean to actually run this because frame rate. But no, this is just neat. It does exactly what you need it to do, and it's clean, very clean. Nice straight run to the border, and he has a pretty reasonable ramp, I would say. That's nice. Okay, off to other things. I haven't gone across the border here yet. Oh yeah, this is the nuclear power plant district. Let's see what's down here before I forget about it. Oh, this was the uranium mine that I already talked about. Okay, farming. Farming is big, and I'm honestly surprised to see only one real big... This is the only farm complex you have, so I'm sure you're importing stuff because this is nowhere near enough, producing enough for 150,000 people. But that's fine, that's fine. Crop is definitely one that I always import at some point at least, so this makes perfect sense. Automatic bread factory? Why is it automatic? Do you even need workers? Interesting. Looks like a big bread mixer a little bit. But no, that's nice. And I'm happy to see that you're actually using trains to move all your stuff around. You're not just auto-importing things to make it work. You're actually taking care of everything that you need here. And it looks like you have different distribution offices going on to move things around. Not quite understanding what this one is doing here, but maybe it has to do more with the farms that are over here already. I mean, obviously that's fine. What's this, train? Oh, it's a big warehouse with 1 million pounds of foods waiting in it to be delivered to someone. Hope nobody's starving. Ah, no, that's great. Another city over here, I think... Oh, this is actually pretty neat. Let's look at it from the top. It's just like a big plus or cross or whatever you want to call it, and it's pretty evenly laid out, and then it looked like you needed one more apartment building there to make sense of something. That's neat. I think this is neat. I would think, because these buildings are really large, yeah, they can make it to the central hubs. That's a cinema. I was expecting this to be a bus station of sorts, but no. So these guys potentially only... Oh, there's a train station right here where they can get picked up. No, this is pretty simple. This is pretty simple, nice setup. Factory, clothing, yep. This all makes sense. Electronics assembly, just you have a lot of stuff going on. I like it. And these are clearly the ones that you started actually planning later on, and that's how they look. That's pretty nice. Couple more production chains here. Coal ore processing plant. This one almost well, this one is clearly not done yet because you just started it. That is fine. You got some more cement going on over here. Yeah, this feels like an area that you just started planning. May look totally different at this point, but that's fine. Then we have, I think, the last city over here that I can't read the name of. Lots of roads, lots of cars, lots of buildings, very spread out. Your radio station here that has pretty good ratings. 25% feels like a pretty good rating, but it seems like only 50% of your population actually have a radio, so that's something you probably need to fix if you really care about what the radio does. But no, this is pretty. Get a lot of things done. What we have here, this is the steel mill. Yes, a huge steel mill setup. You're using a cargo to connect to the storage units. That makes perfect sense. Yes. I know why you do this, and that's perfectly fine, obviously. These conveyors, I would actually argue, are fine. they're not my favorite, but in this case, you have so much steel mill nonsense going on. Not nonsense, but so many steel mills out here that you do need a way to get all your material into the steel mills nice and easy. And this distance feels very appropriate. You ran them in a way to make them look mirrored and just pretty, and that also makes perfect sense. So, no, this is the way you should use the conveyors, the way you are using it. Kudos, nice work. And it looks like this clover leaf had a little more work done than the first one that we saw, and it looks a little better. It's obviously not a full clover leaf, but it's nice. It looks nice. And it's just busy. It's just a very busy republic. We have another angled city over here with these partial buildings that you can set up however you want to. This looks actually really nice. I would think these can be put close together so you can actually form some sort of big blocks. But what you did here, I also like a lot. It feels like a lot of your buildings are really close, or a lot of your industrial buildings are really close to your residential buildings. That's why your health is down and your pollution is 53%. I'm surprised to see that your average lifespan is still over 80 years. That is, I mean, it works. It works. Like, who am I to complain? Everything is working just fine. So there are no problems there. Like 4-lane roundabout? No, that's something I haven't seen ever, probably. And it is circular. In this case, I just know that it's circular because you made the first one really circular and the other one just snaps to it, and that made it a little easier. But no, this is still pretty nice. And look at these exit ramps and like circles, how you can actually drive there. Seems like this one didn't want to play along for some reason, probably because there's a footpath there that probably is not required. Well, maybe it is. I don't know, but no, this is really nice. This is really, really nice and large, and it feels very organic. Like you started somewhere and you didn't just continued doing the things that you were doing, and eventually you ended up here. That's how the game should be played. And the thing that is most impressive is you are in 1994. Now, I don't know how many workers you started with. I can probably just look at that. You started with about 1,000. Yeah. About 1,000 workers, maybe 1,400, which is not a small number, but it's not ridiculous either. So that's nice to see too. Got a bunch of buses running here. Got another airport. Lots of airplanes. What are you carrying? You're actually carrying goods. That is nice to see. Yeah, this is clearly a cargo airport with 2 different terminals going on the same runway. But that makes sense. It looks like there's a little more going on here. This is just cute. I do like how this looks. Just this distribution house has it made for them. They can live in a nice area of town, always. University. Makes perfect sense there. And then we have what? Coal. Coal processing. And a long coal pipeline going to the steel mill. Again, this one I'm more okay with because the distance is not ridiculous and it's almost a straight shot there. You could have used trains for this, you don't have to, very clearly. I opt for trains because trains are fun, but you opt for conveyors because conveyors make your life easier and they can get clogged up with nonsense like trains blocking junctions, so I totally get it. But that's the Republic, 153,000. I don't know that I was able to show a bigger one on the channel yet. Mostly not because I never got one, but because the frame rate goes down so much that I just can't show you anything because all we're going to see is a slideshow. That's not fun for anyone. So I will say, I think this is the biggest one. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, I really don't remember. There may have been another one that was pretty big, but 150 may be the biggest Republic yet. So I'm glad I got to see this. I like these red buildings. That's really nice. And these towers, is that the Empire State Building? It looks somewhat close to it, but then the top is different. It's more like a castle top. But that's fine. We're not going to do a ride along because frame rate, but thank you, user. I'm going to try to read the name again because I want to. It is Ihyan, Iyhan. Thank you so much for submitting this, really appreciate it. And for you, loyal viewer, if you want your map reviewed, please reach out to me via Discord. There's an FAQ on my server. Read it, submit it, and I hope I can get to it soon. It may take a couple weeks, and you can always resubmit your saves until I actually get to it. I will send you this the thumbnail when I'm done with it, so you know when it's coming out and when I'm done with it, so updating doesn't make any more sense. But for right now, that's all I have to say. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate it. And I hope to see you again very, very soon. Bye.